Tikhonenko, a fine outside shooter. The Giant Sabonis at 7'4". Marshallonis, their star, and Titsak, underrated, but a good scorer, especially from three-point range. He's their unknown hero. And for the United States, a team that has tremendous balance and quickness, and they win on defense. Marley from Central Michigan, Manning of Kansas, Robinson of Navy, Mitch Richmond of Kansas State, and Charles Smith, the point guard from Georgetown. He'll return and lead the Hoya attack next year. John Thompson, the winningest coach in Georgetown history. By the numbers, and what you have to look at here is that everything's about the same until you get to the bottom line. They're averaging about the same number of points. They're shooting about the same from the floor and exactly the same from the line. Three-point shots, that percentage the same. But the U.S. is averaging 83 points, or the USSR is averaging 83 points against. USA defense is allowing only 60 points against. A 23-point differential. It's the defense that'll win it for Georgetown. John Thompson, and for Alec Gomelski, his team must find a way to score.
I asked Gomelski before the game, I said, what do you think the key to the game is? He says, my key? I says, yeah. He said, it's back in the hotel room.
If they call him the Soviet answer to Red Auerbach, that sounds like an answer you'd get from the Boston Celtic great. 84-1, we're underway. Last time they played was 16 years ago in Munich. The only time the American team has ever lost an Olympic basketball game. Titsak, Sabonis up high. Marshallonis off a pick. Marley has it stolen away by Marshallonis, and then it goes off his teammate Volkov's hands. Marley to Smith, Charles Smith. He'll be a senior at Georgetown when he returns. Marley picked by the Phoenix Suns. Manning from Kansas. Rebound all the way out to Sabonis. Oh, the U.S. defense caught napping, and a block, but it'll be a foul as Tikhonenko goes up for the lay-in.
Excellent lead pass here to Tikhonenko. Overcomes Dan Manning, which you don't want those fouls early, because if he picks up a second one, he sits out for the first half. Good call by the referee.
Well, Yuri Tikhonenko on the line, an Army lieutenant. You have 5 seconds to shoot that free throw. You have 10 seconds in the collegiate game, and often you'll see much more than that. Danny Manning has been in foul trouble, as you can see in that right-hand column, and that has limited his minutes played. They need him in there. And the Soviets score the first point of the game.
Soviets are in a hard man-to-man, belly button to belly button.
Yugoslavia defeated the Soviets earlier. I think we had them unbeaten coming in. The pass from Marley underneath, and unable to connect was Robinson, and Robinson got away with a bump. Leading 1-0. Marshallonis dishes off. And they'll work that perimeter game inside to the big man. Sabonis blocked by Robinson. Marley brings it down court.
David Robinson, 7 feet. Sabonis, 7'3", 7'4".
Smith on a dish from Manning. 2-1 USA. Titsak, Smith has him. Marshallonis, Richmond guards him. Good move by Marshallonis, and a foul before the shot. Let's go back to David Robinson. He's got that Bill Russell style springboard on defense.
He's quick off his feet. Sabonis a little slow. If you notice, Robinson goes up a little bit late, but the quickness makes up for it.
2-1 USA. 30-second clock at 20 seconds. Tikhonenko not there, but Sabonis follows it in. 7 feet 4 inches, nearly 280 pounds. 3-2 USSR. Robinson spinning, and a foul. Not on Sabonis, but on number 4, Alexander Volkov, the 6'9" forward. He is foul prone.
I believe that David Robinson is a better ball player facing the basket than with his back to it.
Robinson at the line, the Navy ensign, graduated with a BS in mathematics and engineer. from Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's interesting, the small world of athletics. As a junior in high school, Robinson's coach was Herman Reed in junior high school. And, of course, that's J.R. Reed's daddy. USA 4, USSR 3.
Volkov likes to go all the way.
And he picks up the foul from Manning, and there's the second on Danny Manning.
And out comes Danny Manning. We will not see him normally to the start of the second half.
And he's played just 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
Every time Volkov puts the ball down, he's going all the way, left or right. He looks for the three-point play, driving.
Replacing Manning, number 9, Charles D. Smith, the University of Pittsburgh All-America. And here's J.R. Reed in for David Robinson. So 2 new big men in the John Thompson attack.
They put a space eater in to neutralize Sabonis. That's J.R. Reed.
Volkov averaging 11 points a game here in the Olympics. He likes the Atlanta Hawks, Dominique Wilkins and Spud Webb, but he said his real favorites are Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And he ties it at 4. The Soviets are very keen on American basketball. They know the U.S. game.
One of the big breaks they got, Dick, is when the Atlanta Hawks went over there and played 3 games against them about 2 months ago, and there was 8 or 9 ball players from the Hawks, plus their head coach, Mike.
You didn't like that, did you?
No, I didn't like it. I thought that we should send over all-star teams over there and play against the NBA teams here.
Richmond unable to hit. Sabonis with a rebound. Clears to Marciulionis. Oh, nice pass. Tikhonenko connects a 2-pointer, and the USSR leads 7-4 with 2.5 minutes gone.
So far, the USA hasn't had a chance to put on the pressure defense.
They have gotten so many points off turnovers in their pressure defense. It isn't a great shooting team, is it, Coach?
With Hersey Hawkins out, it's not a great shooting team. The next pressure shooter out there from outside is little Charles Smith IV from Georgetown.
Marley with 4 seconds is short. Sabonis almost lost it to Marley. Controls. And the Soviets with a 7-4 lead bring it down. And so far, not much backcourt pressure, and the Soviets dominating the boards.
Tempo of the game favors the USSR.
Sock to Marciulionis, his first shot. Beauty. Marciulionis, a 3-pointer, and it's a 10-4 lead for the Soviets.
This is where we're weak. We set up the half-court offense. Double stack down low.
And a turnover, and that was Teet Sock who forced it. So the Soviets leading 10-4, have the ball on the turnover. And now Marley gets it back for the U.S. to Richmond. And he is fouled as Marciulionis saved the easy basket. And with that foul, break in the action. 4 minutes gone. It's the Soviets 10, the U.S. 4. This ends a plethora of U.S. fans and flags. 15:42 left first half. 10-6. Richmond made both of those free throws. And there's a steal. Richmond. All your way. Just the free throws by Richmond. A foul committed by J.R. Reed. This is Reed from North Carolina. Does the basket count? The foul is on Volkov. No basket.
J.R. Reed gets the ball high. He likes to turn around and face you with the wide 3-second lane. Watch him turn around and face. There's the contact. Whistle was blown before the ball was released.
10-6, Soviets lead. And a turnover. Teet Sock takes it away from Richmond. Sabonis to Marciulionis. This is Volkov. Marciulionis, he is quick. Foul before the shot. And it'll be the second on Mitch Richmond. Marciulionis comes out. And he is replaced by number 10, Kurtinitis. A good outside shooter.
He's the best shooter on the Soviet team, Dick. From three-point land. He's unbelievable.
Here's Kurtinitis.
Here it goes.
And the three-pointer is short. Both men outside go down. Curtinitis, the man guarding him, Richmond, and it's out of bounds to the U.S.
International play, that's no foul.
Number 8, Jeff Grayer from Iowa State replaces another former Big 8 star, Mitch Richmond. So the U.S. has J.R. Reed. Number 6 with the ball, Vernell Coles from Virginia Tech. Robinson, Reed, and Grayer. The shorter team, and Marley. Marley with a drive. Oh, my! It's 10-8. Turnover. Grayer. Robinson, and down they go again. Robinson and Sabonis. It'll be on Sabonis of the USSR.
David Robinson at inside position. Had Sabonis on his backside. Watch Marley take the baseline here and come in the back door. A lot of English on that ball. Here's another angle. Sabonis comes over there. Puts his 7'4", so he had to come in the back door.
High off the glass. And then the steal, and Robinson over the shoulder, Sabonis. And Robinson at the line for 2 that would tie.
Dick, Robinson's one of our poorer foul shooters. In his senior year at Annapolis, he shot 63%.
10-9, the Soviets.
John Thompson looking for a run if he can turn him over off a made foul shot. Now they'll wait for Sabonis to come down, set up. Curtinitis will let it fly from three-point land if he gets it. Here it goes.
Good fake, and they'll draw the foul from Grayer. His first, and for the U.S., there are 16 fouls. Make that 7 now, so from fouls now on, the Soviets will go to the line. The 8th foul and the bonus comes into play, international rules.
Nice head and shoulder fake there. He put Grayer up in the air.
Volkov. Curtinitis.
He can shoot. I told you, folks, he can shoot.
A three-pointer, it's 13-9.
30 years of basketball. He's one of the best outside shooters I've ever watched.
Grayer is called for the charge, and that's the set. Well, check that, Vernell Coles for the charge, his first foul. And that
becomes 1-and-1, I believe. That's the 8th personal foul.
No, player control foul.
Player control foul, excuse me.
But the Soviets are in the 1-and-1 from now on. Sabonis using that big body for his teammates to use as a pick. And Marciulionis back in, and he hits a three-pointer, and it's 16-9.
At the top of the show, we said the key to the game is that the Soviets have to hit 50% from three-point land.
Marciulionis with 6 points to lead the USSR. Robinson, a jump hook. Gets it back and scores. 16-11. David Robinson now with 5.
Robinson's showing more physical play than any other game in the tournament.
Volkov, who likes to drive the baseline. Curtinitis. Marley picks him up. Volkov with Reed. Marciulionis and Marley. Threw it away. Grayer saves for the U.S. Marley brings it out. Coles for Marley. Twelve and a half minutes left first half. The USSR 16, USA 11.
Robinson wants the ball down low.
Ooh, a long three-pointer by Marley. Cole saves it in the corner, but steps on the line. Out of bounds to the Soviet Union. We'll be back at Chomchil Gymnasium after these words from your local station. Welcome back. It's 18-13 USSR. 2 free throws by Curtinitis. Willie Anderson just in the game for the U.S. scored a field goal. Just had another, but it was called off because of a push by Willie Anderson. And there's Volkov hitting. 2-pointer. It's 20-13. The Soviets lead, as they have throughout this first half. Oh, a fine play by Charles Smith, the 4th from Georgetown. 20-15. Approaching the midpoint of this first 20-minute period.
Hard man-to-man pressure, no double team. It's broken. Now the USSR will go to 3-guard attack. There they are.
Curtinitis, three-pointer, and that is his shot. Curtinitis. He's hit on 15 of 29 three-point plays. He's by far the busiest three-point shooter in this game.
Got to take it from there, David Robinson. You got to.
Robinson can't hit. Rebound, Curtinitis. Soviets lead by 8.
Volkov constantly looking to drive. Now look at the 3 fellas around the perimeter. Marciulionis, Curtinitis, and Tit Sak.
You get all the Soviet names right, but you can't say perimeter.
You think it's easy, Dick? Leave me alone.
Curtinitis. Little extra jump, another little extra jump, and the rebound underneath, Delyostenyi. And it comes out to Smith. No help with Smith. And the foul as Greer goes up. And Sabonis rested will come back in. And Homicius comes in, number 13, the captain.
There's a few steps that they seem to allow in international play.
He actually took about 3 extras there by NCAA rules. 1 extra step allowed. It's kind of like handball.
But Dixie, in Rome, you do as the Romans do.
Absolutely right. You know the rules, you play by those. The foul's on Marciulionis. Greer, who played for Johnny Orr at Iowa State, makes it 23-16.
And we'll play in the NBA next year for the Milwaukee Bucks.
It's got to be a coaching shot to go from Orr to John Thompson. Sabonis with a rebound. USSR by 7. You see the time remaining, first half.
The U.S. has called 1 timeout and we allowed 2 timeouts and a half, and you can't carry them over to the second half. Soviets have not called any timeouts.
From outside, Homicius can't hit. Rebound, Charles Smith from Pittsburgh. Greer to Smith of Georgetown.
Next time in, David will take him. Here it comes. He's going to take him this time. Nope, he didn't.
From outside, three-point line. Jeff Greer hits. 23-19. At the 9-minute mark. Soviets still by 4. The only time the USA led was at 2-1 and 4-3. Since then, the Soviets building their lead and holding on to it. Their biggest being 8 points. Walking in for the score is Sabonis.
Give credit to the handoff by Marciulionis.
Sabonis with his 4th point. Power move inside by Robinson, and he picks up the foul.
It looked to me that time that David Robinson jumped into Sabonis.
And Sabonis with his 2nd foul. Let's go back to the other end, and Sabonis scoring.
Well, if he gets it down low, he pretty much takes up so much space. Nice kickoff there.
And Sabonis here. Robinson does jump into Sabonis, who seemed to have position, but the foul goes against the Soviet, and Robinson now 4-for-5 from the free throw line. That's the lead to 5.
If the pressure defense is going to work, which it hasn't worked so far, it should work off a made foul shot right here. Now watch them all pick up the men, apply the pressure. Now come the double teams. Smith should go up in that double team. There goes Smith. Hey, great play that time.
Willie Anderson had his hands on it, but they call a reach in on Anderson. The fans don't like it. Timeout. 8:33 remaining in the first half. With a free throw and a fine basket. Here it is, the basket that makes a 3-point play. The jump hook by Robinson. Then a missed shot at the other end.
Here's another angle of it. This justifies San Antone offering him $26 million, which he signed for.
And now Dan Marley has just completed a 3-point play, and the game is tied at 27. The USSR had led by as many as 8 points in this first half. And one of the fouls, the foul against Marley, was charged to Marciulionis, and that is his 3rd. So just as the USSR has their top player handicapped with fouls, he's still in the game. Danny Manning of the USA has played only 2 minutes and 14 seconds. He picked up 2 fouls quickly. Kurtenitis breaks the tie for the Soviets. 29-27, 10 points for Kurtenitis off the bench. He leads the USSR.
European teams do not press. They pick you up after you come over the 10-second line. Double stack down low. I think they're trying to kick it into David Robinson. Ogman has the ball. Clock under 10 seconds.
Boy, Marshall Loomis with 3 fouls came close to picking up another. The steal. Volkov, he likes to drive and saves it to Pete Sock. Marshall Loomis.
I think if you notice, the 3 guards again are out around the 3-point area. Very difficult to defend against. You can't double team.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Oh, beautiful pass to Sabonis. Assist to Marciulionis. 6 points for Sabonis. A 4-point Soviet lead at 6:40 left in the half.
That was a pressure shot from 16 feet out by David Robinson. You had to keep the defense honest. By making that, they got to come out and guard him.
They rule that Charles Smith kicked the ball out of bounds to the USSR. David Robinson with 10 points now leads the USA.
6.5 minutes left in the first half.
Anything surprise you about the game thus far, Coach?
How they neutralized Georgetown, USA's full court defensive pressure.
Marciulionis, Sabonis left alone. And the Soviets get it back. Marciulionis for 3. 34-29. 11 for Marciulionis. He now is the top scorer for the USSR.
A solid man-to-man defense by the Soviet Union since the opening tap.
Whoops. Offensive foul on number 11, Stacey Augman, who's just in from UNLV. He's the youngest of the U.S. players, just 20, a sophomore with the Rebels at Las Vegas.
The left-hand corner of the screen, you see Stacey Augman's elbow.
So, the USSR, after giving up an 8-point lead, the American team tying them at 27, and now they have the ball and a 5-point advantage once again. And Kurtenitis, a 3-pointer.
Coach John Thompson went to a 1-3-1 zone. You can't do it against the 3 outside shooters. He made a good move in putting in the 2 water bugs together, which is Coles and Charles Smith the 4th. But there's always one other shooter out there on the circle.
Well, the Soviets again match their biggest lead of the half, 8 points. Marley to Robinson. Robinson almost, he does throw it away. Charles Smith can't control, and the U.S. is not playing well.
David Robinson has to take that 16-footer. He made the last one. USA has gone man-to-man.
Oh, what a rejection by Robinson as he says, no, no, niet, niet. To Marciulionis.
Is this niet, niet?
Right here. Volkov. Soviets out rebounding the U.S. and Marciulionis with the garbage, and Robinson can't control. Kurtenitis comes out with it. Oh, he walks all over the place.
2-3 zone.
Another 3-pointer. This one doesn't drop, and Marley rips down the rebound. Ahead to Smith. U.S. down by 8. 4:40 left in the half. To Marley. Drives. Marley. And the Chippewa from Central Michigan has 7.
Hard-nosed ball player, drafted by the Phoenix Suns in the NBA.
Marley now on Kurtenitis, trying to put more pressure on that top 3-point shooter. And there's the turnover. That should have been an over the line call, but apparently Smith had touched it. Out it comes, and the Soviets getting too many second chances and third chances. And Volkov converts. It's 39-31. There was a case where the U.S. had the backcourt violation, but Smith thought he had a chance for a layup, touched the ball. The Soviets came up with it.
And we set up in our half-court offense. We are weak. Foul that time on Pete Sock.
Nope, it's on Curtinitis. Plans to play in West Germany after the Olympic Games. This Curtinitis, a timeout with 3 minutes and 43 seconds left in the first half. Soviet Union by 8.
He has 5 players with 2 personal fouls on them each, sitting on the bench. But don't forget, we only have 11 players that can play. Hershey Hawkins, only if there's an injury at the end of the game, and a foul shot has to be taken with John Thompson using.
Hawkins, the great All-America from Bradley, with a bad knee. He's in uniform, but would not play, only an emergency free throw situation. Soviets by 6 with 3.5 minutes to go, first half. So far, the USA defense has not really stymied the Soviet attack. In fact, the Soviets moving the ball very well, and what a shot by Sabonis using that big body. He now has 8. This is the most and the best that Sabonis has played here in Seoul. J.R. Reed trying to fight his way through, gets it back, and is fouled to reach in. And if that's on Marciulionis, that'll be his 4th foul, and that could be a big whistle against the Soviet backcourt ace. We'll see how they saw it. And that is the 4th foul on Marciulionis. It's hard to believe that Gomelsky, the Soviet coach, has kept him in the game. Now he comes out.
That's his style. In the earlier game against Yugoslavia, he left Volkov in there, who fouled out in the first half. They're starting big forward.
J.R. Reed at the line. He'll be a junior for Dean Smith at North Carolina this coming season. His first point. Reed averaging 7 a game in the Olympics. 41-35, 3:09 left in the half.
The surprising thing is that full court pressure seems just like token pressure.
Omichis, the captain of the Soviets, number 13. Volkov, number 4. Sabonis up on the high post. Pete Sock, and he was fouled to reach in, I believe, on J.R. Reed.
John Thompson's worried about the 3-point shot, so he has his 2-point guards in there who can extend the defense in Coles and Smith.
Reed's 2nd foul. This is Pete Sock. His dad, August, was a basketball star and a coach in Estonia. Lithuania, Estonia, half the Soviet team from that part of the Soviet Union, the Baltic area near Finland. And Sock, as is with most of the players in this tournament, good free throw shooters.
European players are mechanical players, where your United States players are more fluid.
Soviet lead back up to 8 points.
Watch how far they lay off David Robinson if he gets the ball high.
Marley, with his spin move, forces the shot. And it's taken down by Omichis.
He got hung
Sock.
in the air, put up a Hail Mary.
Volkov. Soviets are playing like the more experienced team, aren't they?
They are mature. They're a team. They've been together for many years.
He averaged 26 years of age. Alone Sabonis. Oh, a fine play, but Sabonis able to get it back and tip it in. And that's the biggest lead for the USSR in the game. A 10-point advantage as time winds away in this first half.
I said earlier in the week that the Soviets play preliminary rounds not too uptight. They wait for the elimination end of it, the quarterfinals. Oh, excellent timing.
Robinson nailing the shot that was trickling off the rim from Smith. That's a dozen for David Robinson. Curtinitis lost it for a moment, and it's out of bounds to the Soviets.
21 seconds on the shot clock, the small clock, the big clock, the game clock, 1 minute and 24 seconds.
A scramble here, and Robinson rattling it home. That was the play at the other end. Well, we've talked a lot about the USA, 16 years to get a chance to wipe away, erase the memory of Munich. But the Soviets have had 16 years to think about beating the U.S. again as well. And the foul is an offensive foul against the USSR.
16 years ago, President Richard M. Nixon was in the White House, and Billy Joel had his first big hit in Piano Man.
Well, Sabonis hit 3 of the keys, his third foul. And with Marciulionis on the bench with 4, the 2 most important players for Gomelski, the Soviet coach, are now in foul trouble. Final minute. Drive by Smith, runs right into Volkov, who takes it away. Here come the Soviets. Sabonis running the court better than he did earlier, but the pass was behind him. And with 50.8 seconds, and at the final minute here, the clocks will give you the 10th of a second. It's the ball going to the U.S. A timeout. The Soviets with a lead by 8. John Thompson showing some concern on the U.S. bench. Down to 27 seconds left in the half. U.S. trying to cut into the Soviet 8-point lead. Smith throwing up a prayer. The U.S. shot selection has not been good. They're right into the teeth of the Soviet defense. And now the USSR with a chance at the last shot could lead by 10 or even 11 based on their fine 3-point shooting. Final seconds. Omichis. And the Soviets at the buzzer lead by 10. Oh my.
Dick, you'll see full court pressure the second half that you've never watched in a basketball game. John Thompson is mad. And here's the John Wooden of Europe. He won 7 European championships.
Alex Gomelski, his team in front by 10, and everything seems to be going the way of the Soviets except for fouls on 2 key players. The captain, Omichis, showing good cool and pressure. So 20 minutes to go. The semifinal game. 10-point lead, Soviets. Let's go to Brian Gumbel.
Okay, Dick Enberg, thank you. The Soviets clearly outplaying the American squad in the first half, looking better than they have the whole tournament. There's another half to come.
Tikhonenko. Good defense by Richmond to set up.
What's happening, Dick? Sabonis is putting a pink elephant in the back of the minds of the USA team. They're hesitating on the chippy shots.
All right, so we'll be back. And the drama really building here. The U.S. is going to have to rally from deep behind. They have the ball now, but let's go to Charlie Jones and that 400-meter final.
All right, thank you, Dick. We're looking.
Continuing, the U.S. getting 14 points from Robinson, but only 4 fast break points. But Mitch Richmond has hit a 3-pointer, and Smith now trying to convert a 3-point play is short, but the U.S. gets the ball back. Manning, so it could be a 4-point play. It's 52-42. And Volkov has picked up his 4th foul. Manning, he hasn't scored yet, but Richmond gets the loose ball. This is what the Soviets have been doing. Shooting, missing, getting the ball back. They had 4 chances at the other end just before you joined us and wound up getting only a free throw.
Soviets will be a little bit slower now because they got Goborov in there along with Sabonis. Goborov is a young center at 6'11".
And Reed puts a move on him and scores. J.R. Reed cuts the lead to 8. So it is a 4-point play.
Mitch Richmond got his hand on that ball, so I don't know if J.R. will get the credit of Mitch Richmond.
4 points for Reed. Marciulionis with 4 fouls on the bench. Sabonis is playing with 3. Volkov is now on the bench with 4 fouls. Titsak, and a block by Reed, and then he rips it away from Goborov, the young center. All the way, Smith.
He has that float down. Doesn't look like the ball's going to go in, but Charles Smith usually makes that shot.
Back-to-back drives by Smith, and the lead is cut to 6.
John Thompson's trying to apply as much pressure as possible. He's looking for a run to build up the confidence of the USA. They've got to get Dan Manning into the offensive game.
Oh, mismatch underneath. Smith's on Sabonis. And Titsak a charge against the Soviets. Timeout, USSR. Here's a timeout moments ago after the Soviets had built a 14-point lead at 51-37.
John Thompson saying, hey, let's stop the baloney. We're at the point of no return.
Now let's go back to the 400 meters.
An unbelievable sight here.
J.R. Reid has just scored on a power move inside to cut the Soviet lead to 4. They've whittled 10 points off the 14-point lead the USSR enjoyed at the start of the second half. We have 14 minutes to go for a chance at the gold medal. This is the semifinal and the foul against Richmond of the USA, his third. And a key to the game has been the fouls against prime players for the USSR. Marcellonis with 4. Volkov has started with 4. Sabonis is playing with 3. For the USA, Reid has 3, and now Richmond 3.
USA hard man-to-man, trying to turn the ball over. JR got a piece of it. Here he goes, the dunk slam.
J.R. Reid, who has not been that outstanding in the Olympics. He's had some bad games. He's really put it on the burner. It's a 52-50 game. In Munich, it was 51-50 the other way as the Soviets handed the USA their only Olympic defeat. In case you're just joining us and haven't really followed that picture, that's the big story 16 years ago.
This is the guy that can hit every time out there, automatic.
Curtinitis with a three-pointer, and he has 18 to lead the Soviets. Back to a 5-point advantage.
They want the ball in Danny Manning's hands this time down.
Reid, they're laying off Reid. Smith, Manning. He's short again. He's cold. Volkov back in the game, gets the rebound.
No pressure up court, surprisingly. Once they set up, Sabonis becomes a key player.
Here's Volkov inside. Oh, a good save. Rebound by Manning of the missed shot by Tarakanov. Smith loses his man. Richmond around Volkov. In on Sabonis. Blocked by Sabonis. Saved by the U.S. And then the loose ball picked up by Curtinitis.
2-on-1.
All alone is Sock. And he does just that for another two-pointer. It's 57-50. So after the run by the U.S., the Soviets showing their poise. This is a veteran team. A couple of men that are 30. The average age 26. They average 6'8" in height for the entire 12 and 224 pounds. I mean, it's an NBA-size statistic. Smith, a three-pointer.
He is the crunch time shooter ever since Hershey Hawkins went down 3 games ago. John Thompson's trying to get Danny Manning out of the blocks, getting him into the offensive game. Curtinitis will rub off Mitch.
That'll be a foul diving in on Willie Anderson.
That's the 4th foul on the USA, and there's 4 fouls on the Soviets. They don't shoot the one-on-one to the 8th personal foul.
Let's check the USA lineup now as you look at Tarakanov. There's your review. In the NBA, it's the 5th foul of the period. The NCAA, the 7th foul, and it's the 8th foul here in international play. Holes is in. Marley. Grayer. In the big bin are Robinson and Manning. Manning has yet to score a point for the U.S. Oh, good move. Volkov. That sets up Sock. Oh, it won't drop. That would have been another 3 for the Soviets. It's a 4-point game. 11 minutes to go. Marley with his drive. Can't hit it. Kept alive. And a foul will be on Robinson. He got caught reaching back. His first foul.
David Robinson at 7 feet reached back that time and caught a piece of sock. Teeth sock.
You got to go out and do some darning after that line, coach. 57-53. 11 minutes to go. The winner advances to the gold medal game 2 days from now. Drive by Volkov. Use that free arm to clear the way.
He drives left to right.
The other end is Grayer for the U.S. Make that Coles, Vernell Coles from Virginia Tech. He'll be a junior next season. which will be very soon. October 15th, the Collegians start practice. 4-point Soviet lead. Marciulionis, number 7, he's back in the game, playing with 4 fouls. Lost his balance. Thought he was pushed. Holds. Anderson cuts the lead to 2, and there's a rare fast break basket for the U.S.
Excellent feed off by Coles. Plus a confidence builder for Danny Manning.
Sabonis, and he was fouled as he went with the underhand shot, and there right on his wrist, Danny Manning with a 3rd foul for Manning.
I thought Sabonis made a super move that time by drawing a foul on Danny Manning, giving a scoop shot. Looking more to be fouled than to make it.
7'4" Sabonis, who was, of course, a subject of a lot of publicity. He went to the Portland Trail Blazers to have his ruptured Achilles tendon worked on. John Thompson thought it was helping the other side. Sabonis, a first-round pick of the Blazers. He's been in rehab with that couple of Achilles tears since '87. Played sparingly until this game. He's been solid. 1 out of 2 for Sabonis. The lead is 3 for the Soviets at 60-57. Exactly 10 minutes to go. 13 points for Sabonis.
Demetrius is overplaying Coles. They feel they can keep the ball out of Coles' hands. They can stop the USA.
Coles loses his balance, and it goes off his foot out of bounds to the Soviets. Good defense by Curtinitis. Charles Smith, the forward Smith. There are 2 Charles Smiths on this team. The Georgetown guard and the Pittsburgh forward. He's in. Charles Smith. Coles goes out. So it's Marley, Charles Smith. Both Charles Smiths are in. Reed and Anderson.
In this situation, we call them Small Charlie and Big Charlie.
All right, I'll leave that up to you, Coach. That's Marciulionis. He was fouled on the shot, and that'll be a 3-point. Now they're going to say after the shot. After the shot is the call. So the Soviets will play it from the side. 4th foul on Willie Anderson.
And that's a 7th foul on the USA. Every foul from now on is 1 and 1.
USSR has only 14 fouls, and they lead by 3 points. Led by as much as 14 early in this half, and Marley and Marciulionis in a pushing match, and the foul is going to go against Marley of the U.S., and that'll send Marciulionis to the line.
Marley's playing a black and blue game, a lunch pail game, pushing and shoving, trying to keep it physical, and also trying to get Marciulionis to react, so maybe pick up his 5th foul and be sitting on the pine.
Marciulionis is 2 for 2 from the line. As you look at the Georgetown head mentor, a good free throw shooter. He has missed only 4 of 31 in this Olympic tournament. Automatic. And the Soviet lead is 5.
9:15 left to go.
It wasn't expected to be this tense. The U.S. has been dominating play, other than the one surprising effort by Canada. And there's a push off against the Soviets. Teat Sock as he fought through the screen.
Teat Sock couldn't knock down J.R. Reed in the best day of his life. That was a Tony Award. An Emmy. An Oscar. I don't know any other ones.
I was waiting. Grayer, tough turnaround, but Marley there for the rebound. There's not a lot of movement away from the ball for the U.S. offense. Smith to Marley. 13 seconds shot clock. Reed. How's he going to get that one in? Almost did, and the foul is against Reed, bullying his way in. So the U.S. trying to play a more physical game, but they're not doing it subtly enough.
That time down, whoever Marciulionis was covering, I would have given the ball to that man to take him one-on-one.
It's a good job by the Soviets, Volkov, to move into Reed.
Volkov is 6'9". Everyone looks small out there because Sabonis is just about 7'4".
We said they average over 6'8" as a team.
How many pounds is Sabonis, Dick?
279. Marciulionis. Oh, nice pass to Volkov. Marcellonis into traffic, setting up Sabonis. Got away with a walk. Volkov got away with being on the back. U.S. fighting with themselves, and finally Greer gets it. 5-point deficit. They need a big basket here. Into Charles Smith. Nice block by Sabonis as Robinson, and the U.S. getting the ball inside for 2 shots. It would figure one of those would go down, but the Soviet defense too tough. And now the USSR with a chance to build on its 5-point lead, and it's under 8 minutes. Sabonis left alone now, sets up Volkov, and he is fouled by Robinson.
One of the biggest assets of Sabonis is his passing ability. First of all, the relays on the fast break and in tight passes.
Al McGuire, for the first time, I sense the U.S. is in serious trouble. You had the feeling that with their defense and their speed and youth, they could rally, but the Soviets didn't buckle when it was tied. They've come right back to build the lead to 7, and here's Volkov with a chance to make it 8. And the USSR is getting all the loose balls. 8-point lead again.
If the USA is going to get back in the game, I believe that Danny Manning has to go on the court and get a hot hand.
Manning has not scored a point in this game.
Yes, he had a dunk down the other end of the in the second half, I believe.
Well, we don't have it in the book, Coach.
So I'm probably wrong again.
May not be. Charles Smith. It won't drop again for Robinson, and it's that kind of play. You just sense the right things are not happening if you're a U.S. fan. Robinson will get free throws, but this should have been a 3-point play for him. 6 for 8 from the line today, looking for his 15th point. Every opportunity for the United States now becomes important. They must capitalize.
Plenty of time left. When it gets under 5, the clock becomes important. It's at 7 now, a little bit over.
65-58. 7:07. And the clock ticks away. At no time in the previous games did the Soviets play like this. And maybe there was a case of not giving the scouts the full picture. Marcellonis down the alley. What a play, but it's short, and Robinson rebounds. U.S. hustles it up court. Greer again in this 10-footer.
Volkov pulls it in.
Marcellonis to Sabonis. 6.5 to go, and a foul on Marley.
Nice play that time for Kotonaitis as he faked the shot. Marley was going by him. He stepped into Marley's flow, which created the foul.
Percy Hawkins, the All-America from Bradley. Bad knee, can't play. They don't want to risk any further injury. It's not just a sprain, but a strain. And that 3-point shooter will sit on the bench, and how the U.S. and Coach Thompson would like to have him available.
As I said all week, Dick, he's a God-made shooter. He's a scorer.
Yeah, he can make the 3-pointers at will. Ken Kotonaitis misses the free throw.
Don't forget, you don't have to take a foul to shoot it. You can take it out at half court.
Timeout, 6:29 to go, and the Soviets lead by 8 points. And we'll take a break right after this shot, as they got 2 out of 3. Soviets by 9. Welcome back. You see Sabonis has just taken a seat with his 4th foul. He fell right down, collapsed in disbelief at the call. Greer hits both free throws, and it's 67-60. Check that. Brunel Coles got the 2 free throws. A 7-point Soviet lead with 5.5 minutes to go. Marcellonis, Sabonis, and Volkov, 3 starters with 4 fouls for the Soviets. Anderson has 4, and so does J.R. Reed for the U.S. Boy, that's a quick whistle there on Coles. The 44th foul of the game. You expect a lot of whistles in international play, but suddenly the 2 officials have decided that their role should be important in this one as well.
Both teams are in a 1-on-1.
This could be a stunning moment for U.S. basketball. They were expected to dominate the Soviets, who did not play all that well in this championship thus far, while the U.S. was, other than a Canadian game, beating everyone by 30 or more.
The key was, Dick, I watched them in Rotterdam. The key was when the Atlanta Hawks went over to Moscow and played 3 games. The Atlanta Hawks beat them once in overtime, once in a cliffhanger, and then lost to them. I mean, you don't take on an NBA team and be competitive without being good.
U.S. just having trouble getting shots. Marley, a little fake by the Soviet player. He drives for the score, 69-62. 5 minutes to go. And Marciulionis drums at the other end. He's a player.
In my opinion, Marciulionis is the only person that can start for an NBA team.
17 for Marciulionis. Reed playing with 4 fouls. He loses it out of bounds. Yelosteny in for Sabonis with good defense. And you sense now in this young American team a feeling of panic. They have not been able to control the game. The Soviets have.
Now they have gone to a pressure team out there. 4 quick guys with J.R. Reed.
And they force the turnover.
I thought John might have made this move a little bit earlier. Ogden is an unbelievable defensive player, along with Smith, Coles, and Marley.
That turnover was only the 12th by the Soviets, 13 for the U.S. And a reach-in goes against Kurtinitis. That is their 8th foul, so the U.S. now will go into the 1-and-1. Trailing by 9 points. Sabonis returns. Playing with 4. Marciulionis with 4 and Volkov with 4. So Gomelski has put those starters back in, each with 4 personal fouls. Mel Coles. Last year led the Metro with a 24-point average and led and assisted well as well. Doesn't get the roll, and Sabonis hugs the rebound. And another lost opportunity for the U.S.
They'll start to work the clock down. There's 15 left on the shot clock. He's going to drive all the way.
Oh, they say it touched Marley, and it did. Manning and Robinson are waiting at the scorer's table to return to the game. Deep sock. Nice rebound by Coles.
He's going to go all the way.
Ronell Coles, 71-64, 7-point lead for the Soviets, just under the 4-minute mark. And here come the 2 big men for the U.S., Manning and Robinson. Robinson has played well, has 17. Danny Manning has been a mystery. Early foul trouble and has been shut out. But we know what kind of a clutch player he is. He carried the Jayhawks to the NCAA crown.
They'll regroup at the 10-second line and attack again defensively. Soviets are trying to work the clock down each time down, but there's too much on the big clock. 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
30-second shot clock, and it currently is at 11. Marciulionis is doing a lot of acting and gets the foul from Coles. 3rd on Coles, and that's not the man you want to foul. Marciulionis is shooting in the high 80s. 3:35 left. Now remember, in international rules, the last 2 minutes, a very critical part of the game is that you don't have to shoot free throws. You can't foul to get yourself back into the picture. In the final 2 minutes, the team that's fouled can take the ball out of bounds. Robinson scores. David Robinson has 17 now. I think we credit him with 2 minutes. 5-point game. 3:17 to go. Kurtinitis out there, and Smith is for the U.S. A critical trip down court. Smith can't hit it, and Sabonis has the rebound for the Soviets. Teat-Sock. They break the pressure, and here comes Marciulionis. Sabonis, and Kurtinitis is fouled as Coles had to cut in to save the easy basket. 4 fouls on him. 2:53 to go.
Excellent pass by Sabonis in tight. Cole saved an automatic 2 points by fouling. So see if Fortunitis can bottom him out from 15 feet away, the charity line. Each team has 1 timeout remaining, only allowed 2.5. Both teams are in the 1-on-1.
72-66, and where the Soviets have a team if behind, they can get the easy threes. The U.S. is not structured that way. It's been a team that has scored inside and not outside.
Especially with Hershey Hawkins being down with an injury.
Coles, tough defense. Sabonis rips down another. It's a 2-on-1 break. Marciulionis, and that could do it for the Soviets.
Got to call their last timeout, regroup, put 5 water bugs in there, get Mitch Richmond in, and attack all over the court. They surprised they're not calling a timeout.
2.5 minutes to go, and the Soviets sitting on a big 9-point lead. Marley from 3-point range. That was an NBA three-pointer. 75-69. Only the 4th three-point shot for the U.S. Here comes Volkov. No foul as he runs over Coles. Basket good. And with 2:13 left, a timeout is called by John Thompson. Oh, my. It appears the Soviets are going to do it again. It was a surprise in 72. It would be a surprise again here in 88 as Marley can't hit the three-pointer. Robinson jams the rebound, and it's 77-71 with 2 minutes to go. Now, any fouls, the Soviet Union can take the ball out of bounds, have that option. And breaking the press is Volkov. Curtinitis, they'll try to use up as much of the 30 seconds on each possession. We'll watch the shot clock. 16, 15, 14 on the shot clock.
USA has to play tough defense because 2 possessions, 3-point area, they can tie the game going to OT.
1 second to go. Rebound Robinson. So they used up all 30 seconds, then they throw it away. Marley didn't have room to receive the ball. They'll call it against Pete Sock.
Those are 2 by the official because they have to allow the man to come down after he catches the ball.
You take the free throws or take it out of bounds down by 6.
With 1:22, I would take the free throws.
Marley is just an average free throw shooter, around 2 out of 3, 67%.
In his senior year, up there with the Chippewas, he shot 64%.
77-72. That's 13 points in the game for Marley. He's averaged 14, tops on the U.S. squad.
This is going to go right down to the wire.
Marley gets his own rebound, makes it a 3-point play. 77-74, 1:18 to go.
Hard pressure up court. Safety foul with Sabonis, floated high to him. They did it again. That takes the pressure off. 10-second clock. It's down to 5 seconds.
Curtinitis left alone. Scores. Big basket for the Soviets. They're back on top by 5 with 1:02 to go.
Look to get the ball to Danny Manning.
Marley fall away, rattles it in and out. And a foul by the U.S. with 52 seconds to go. And the United States found themselves in a position in the last 7 minutes of this game of having to score on almost every possession, and they could not. They wasted a lot of opportunities, and the Soviet defense was very tough inside. Very, very strong.
What's more important, Dick, I don't think the Soviets will take the foul shots, even though he's an excellent foul shooter. The clock is their friend more now than the foul line.
They get a new 30-second clock. So now it's going to take a miracle for the U.S. They trail by 5. 84-1, the U.S. Olympic basketball record. The game that the United States invented, and they certainly have controlled internationally until 72. And then the freaks of the Olympic competition, the Americans and the Soviets not playing until this day in Seoul, Korea, and the USSR may have had plans of their own. Everyone was thinking of U.S. revenge.
John Thompson has put an extremely quick team in. 3 guys around 6'4", 6'5", along with Charles Smith. They'll scramble as much as they can.
Volkov has it knocked away.
Great play by Ogman. Unbelievable.
And a foul on whom?
Excuse me, that play was by Anderson, not Ogman. Outstanding play.
Marciulionis gets his 5th foul with 36 seconds to go. Watch Anderson, number 10. Flicks it away and then saves it. What a play by Anderson of Georgia.
I was right. Ogman touched the ball first, and Anderson saved it.
Marciulionis leaves with a great game. No wonder the Atlanta Hawks want to sign him after the Olympics. He has not signed, obviously. He averaged 26 points a game against Atlanta when they toured the Soviet Union. Here comes Robinson and Manning. Manning still without a point in the game, and that will be one of the items in bold print when the basketball media tell this story in the United States. We're going to stay right here with 36.9 seconds left. A 5-point Soviet lead, 2 free throws. Would Thompson be considering trying to make the first free throw and miss the second now?
Well, he would definitely not take the free throw if Ogman is the shooter. Anderson shoots 78%. If Anderson's a shooter, I would maybe go for it. But I think John will not take it out of bounds, look for maybe a drive, if not a 3-point shot. And then if the ball turns over to the USSR, to foul right away. Even though the USSR will not take the foul shot, that allows the USA to set up their defense properly. And then he'll get back in the game, the defensive players. Right now he has the offensive players in there with Manning and Robinson.
The best outside shooters are Smith and Marley, but not a glorious 3-point shooters. The best is on the bench, Hawkins and Richmond, who probably is second best.
Watch little Charles Smith. He won 3 games last year for Georgetown against Syracuse,
And look at that.
Pittsburgh, and LSU.
There's the difference in NCAA and USA play. That would have been a couple of whistles, one for traveling and the other on a foul. Instead, it goes out of bounds to the Soviets. Tenths of seconds tick away. And with it, the dream of the...
Oh, what a steal! By Ogman!
Ogman scores. Willie Anderson is right. Anderson scores. 79-76. And a foul on Charles Smith with 15 seconds to go.
Good foul by Charles Smith. The USSR, Dick, will take the ball out on the side. John Thompson will put in Ogman. He'll probably pull out Danny Manning, most likely.
Now Robinson's going to go out. Is one of the men going out? Here comes Grayer in for
and there
Manning.
goes Danny Manning out. So you got Grayer and Ogman in, 2 great defensive ball players, along with Anderson, Smith, and Marley.
They need a steal and a 3-point shot. Wide open. Kamichis. Oh, and he gets it back. And the Soviets get it again, Volkov. And finally a foul. So the U.S. had a chance, a couple of missed shots, but because of the shorter, quicker defensive team in, the taller Soviets able to get their own rebound.
Outside an interception on the inbounds pass. The USSR has done a magnificent job in this game. Give credit to their coach, Gomalski.
The world has certainly caught up with the United States in this game. No longer does the U.S. dominate as they did for so much of these Olympic Games. Whistle with just under 2 seconds to go. But there is no time really for even a miracle now. And the Soviets are already celebrating.
Heartbreak Hotel on one side, and the other side is happiness, joy. We've done it.
It's been a tough trip for these kids. John Thompson has not let them do much else but practice and play the game. They'll leave home. He'd made a statement earlier, basically, that they were there to win the gold medal, and that was the purpose. There were kids who grumbled and thought about quitting. It wasn't fun. And how tough it'll be now to assimilate this loss.
You got to remember, Dick, that John Thompson, it's a team sport here. It's not like gymnastics, boxing, or track, where you're really doing an individual thing. So you got to keep the team together as much as possible. Now, maybe there's an overkill, but I'm not sure.
Sock hits the free throw. It's 80-76. Now, final. That was ruled an intentional foul, so the Soviets get the ball back. And here's the frosting for the USSR. They win it 76. The Soviets will go to the gold medal game against either Australia or Yugoslavia. The United States goes home stunned with a semifinal loss to the bigger, more experienced, and perhaps more clever USSR.